This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by manager Egis Klimas here in Poland. Egis, always a pleasure. How are you?
Very good, very good. Happy to be here in Poland. Very nice city. Beautiful, beautiful.
It certainly is. I think a lot of people feel the same. And the return of your unified heavyweight champion, Oleksandr Usyk, on Saturday night, how much does it mean for him to be able to come back? Not necessarily home, but there will be obviously a huge Ukraine following supporting him in the arena on Saturday night.
Well, first of all, this is kind of like a closest what he can get for the fight to his home, because it's a lot of Ukrainians here, lot of support here. He's going to be like at home, but saying that he cannot to relax on this because he has a giant guy in front of him.
Egis, nobody other than anybody who's kind of involved with the conflict will understand how difficult it can be to cope with. Throughout the entire war, have you seen any changes in Oleksandr? Have you seen it affect him at all personally?
No, not at all. He's always concentrated 100% for the job what he does, and he's very humble, and he's very smart, and he understands what's going on. So I didn't see any big changes into him.
We saw them both work out yesterday. Oleksandr was more kind of fan-friendly, entertaining the crowd as he usually does. Daniel Dubois certainly let his hands go, to say the least. What did you make of seeing Daniel on the pads? Certainly looked to be working the body specifically.
Forget him. Come and talk to me. You okay?
Frank, what's happening Saturday night? Jump in. What's going to happen Saturday night?
We're going to see a great fight. It's going to be a fantastic fight.
Yes.
In the venue, it's going to be so alive in here, and we're going to see a war between two fighters, but two gentlemen, two really nice guys, and fighting as you should fight, under rules and regulations. Not being
from our side. Let's start.
Alex, you come in as well, and we'll make it a three-way interview. Jump in, Alex. That's it. You got to jump in, Alex. Jump in, Alex. Where's George? We get George in as well.
One request. Let's not talk about Tyson Fury.
No Tyson Fury questions. Just this fight.
Where's he?
What? Where's he? What's going down on Saturday night, Alex?
Yeah, thank you, Frank. It's a huge one. It's an absolutely huge one, especially here in Poland, in the city of Wrocław, where we have almost more than 200,000 Ukrainians residing. Every third citizen of Wrocław is Ukrainian. So we have a big stadium, the stadium that has this boxing history. It was actually launched with a boxing event when Vitaly was fighting Tomasz Janibek here back in 2011. And now we're having Oleksandr Usyk, the absolute star of Ukraine, the national hero of Ukraine, defending his let's say most of the titles. Yeah, exactly, 3 belts, and one of which is a mandatory. And we have a challenger who is the regular champion on WBA. So that's a big one. That's a huge event, worldwide, televised on TNT, box office, ESPN in America. So what else can I add?
Frank, does Daniel stop Oleksandr Usyk on Saturday night?
Great fight. If he gets the opportunity, he will. It's all about working to get the opportunity. All I know is, come Saturday night, all the talking will stop, and it's all going to be down to the actions of the two fighters. And that's it. And I know Egis has got tremendous confidence in, and quite rightly so, in his fighter, and I've got tremendous confidence in my fighter.
Your fighter's just arrived, Frank, so I imagine you want to catch up with him. We're going to bring another man in. Egis will bring this back round to you. Obviously, Frank, I'll bring this back round to Egis. I'll catch up with you in a bit, if that's okay. But good to see you, Frank. Egis, I wasn't expecting that, so don't feel ambushed. It's a big fight, though. Obviously, everybody arriving now. How does Oleksandr feel ahead of Saturday night?
No, he's feeling good. He's prepared 100%, and he's ready to go. I think he can't wait to get a Saturday night.
We obviously, as we mentioned before everybody started jumping in, we saw Daniel on the pads working the body specifically of his trainer Don Charles at the workout. Did you think anything of that? Did you make anything of Daniel's power that was on show?
Unfortunately, I didn't see it because I was with Usyk in the backstage. So I just saw him walking into the ring. That's all I saw it.
Speaking with Don Charles yesterday, he said that they're under no illusion that if they're going to come here, they feel like they need to force the stoppage, they need to force the pace, be aggressive and kind of take Oleksandr Usyk out of there. Is that a surprise to you to hear?
I believe 20 or 21 opponent of Oleksandr Usyk before tried to do that.
None have succeeded.
None have succeeded.
Don also suggested that he feels that Alexander might do something differently and might be more aggressive himself. Do you think we might see a different version of Usyk on Saturday night?
One more time, I missed
There's a lot of people walking through Egis who want to talk to you. Again, Don mentioned that he feels that Alexander might do something different on Saturday night. He might be a bit more aggressive than what we're used to. Do you think we could see something different from Usyk when he steps between the ropes?
Well, it's hard to say. I don't know what is going to be in Usyk's mind because he can change in a second. He changes, splits. It's going to depend what Dubois going to bring. So and he's going to be adjusting to his opponent.
Egis, I was going to get your thoughts on a couple of other things. I saw Alex do an interview yesterday where he said that any future Fury Usyk talks have to be based around a 50-50 offer if it was to take place outside of the UK. Do you agree with that Usyk Fury would have to be 50-50?
I believe Alexander just made the rule. Today we're talking about Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois. We're leaving Fury out of it for now. Then it's going to time come to talk about the Fury. We'll pick about Fury.
No problem. I'll ask you after the fight if Alexander wins. Can I get an update on Vasily Lomachenko?
Right now, he's kind of like in a halfway to relax. So he's very upset with the decision of judges, and he decided right now just go fishing, relax himself, and not talking about the boxing. By the way, he's coming to the fight.
Were you surprised at all that, or what was the reason rather for him not to take up the Shakur Stevenson fight at 135?
As I said, he's not even talking right now about the boxing. He doesn't, most likely he doesn't have a motivation to even talk about it. So why he doesn't have a motivation to prepare. The man was prepared for the fight 3 months. He goes, he wins a fight, and then he gives the other side judges. So what else do you wanted to talk?
It was an interesting point because before the fight I asked you about kind of if there was any concerns if he went to the judges. Because of how Vasily feels now, is there any risk he might not return to the ring?
Possible, I don't know. I can't talk for the man. No.
What's happening with Janibek?
Janibek, we're going in October 14th. And coming like close, like we're going to unify titles.
How difficult?
IBF.
Why has it been so difficult to get either a unification or another big name in the ring with Janibek?
You should ask our promoters about it.
I'll come back to Bob Arum about that. But Egis, you're a busy man. Everyone keeps walking in wanting to talk to you. So thank you for speaking to me. And obviously good luck with you and your team on Saturday night.
Thank you.